Hello, I'm Colin. This is another edition of C&C 5. We're going to be talking about everything that took place on Wednesday, December 7th, 2022. So, no time to waste. Let's hop right into it. We're going to start with MLB free agency with the winter meetings. Continuing on Wednesday, there were a bunch of big contracts. Masataka Yoshida, coming over from Japan, he has signed a deal with the Boston Red Sox for about $90 million. Outfielder, so it's a good ad for the Red Sox. Does not make up for a big loss that they had, which we'll get to in just a second. But first, Wilson Contreras, catcher for the Cubs, now moving over to the Cubs' division rival, the St. Louis Cardinals, for a 5-year, $87.5 million contract. The Cardinals getting a much-needed replacement at catcher after Yadier Molina has retired. But the big free agent news of the day was Xander Bogaerts, the shortstop from the Red Sox, signing with the San Diego Padres. So the Padres lineup is now ridiculous. It's going to have Juan Soto, Manny Machado, Fernando Tatis Jr., and Bogaerts, who's now signed an 11-year, $280 million contract. This means that the best shortstops still on the free agent market are Carlos Correa and Dansby Swanson. Unclear when they are going to sign. But the teams in the league, they've now guaranteed more than $2 billion in future salaries over the last few weeks, just in a ridiculous number. To some other news, we'll go international. With Peru, there was an attempted coup in Peru by their president, who was on the verge of being impeached and removed from office. He attempted to dissolve Congress to remain in power and basically enter dictatorship. It did not end up working. Their president was impeached and removed from office and then arrested. In other coup news, which there really should not be that much coup news in one day, but in other coup news, Germany just arrested a couple dozen people who have some ties to QAnon for a conspiracy to overthrow their government. Also in somewhat international news, Time magazine has named Volodymyr Zelensky the president of Ukraine their person of the year, a very deserving honor. Some of the other candidates for that were the Iran protesters, Janet Yellen, Ron DeSantis, the U.S. Supreme Court, Elon Musk, gun rights activists. Really just a lot of candidates, some good, some bad. Zelensky, in my opinion, is the right choice for that. We'll talk about that more on the podcast next week. That's going to do it for this episode of the C&C 5. I'm Colin. I know it's a bit of a short episode, but thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.